Shit, one, two, three. One, two, three in the place to be. Should play your partners from the bottom of the map.
On the bottom of the map.
And we back. We back. And we back. And we back.
Well, I've been gone for a
Season.
minute, but
Yeah, we've been gone. We've been gone for a little minute. Been chilling. You
give these
know,
people the time to get that little play time. You know what I'm saying? Get all those play podcasts in. Now you go ahead and get that real quick. Come get this
shit.
word. Get this word. Get this word.
Get this work. Go ahead before we jump in. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like and share, so you can get all this this content we're about to serve to you. But shit, it's been a minute since you've been on the mic, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your thing.
Well, I know we usually don't have this, but I want to give a shout out to our only sponsor, asswhooping.com. You need your ass whooped, just go ahead and let us know. Get your ass whooped, and you know what I'm
Okay.
saying. Go ahead and get your schedule. Um, yeah, man. I've been gone, but I've been walking the football landscape to and fro, paying attention to everything. You know what I'm saying. Watching other podcasts, seeing how we feel about it. Last year kind of opened up my eyes to how much, like, though I love bleed our fans are some dick riding dick suckers. Boy, these boys ready to believe any motherfucking thing. And so that shit just kind of let me know, like, damn, I can't really like look at the hype. I got to be able to look at the facts. You feel me? Like, because I think the big thing, what the media is pumping is the return of Carson Beck. And is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like I guess that's like the face card of the whole program. And I get it because your quarterback is literally, you know what I'm saying, can sink or swim for the team. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the next thing being our defense and got a new defensive coordinator and couldn't get it done. And you know what I'm saying? I look at the negatives, but I also look at the positives. Like I feel like, damn, you know what? Fuck how I feel about Mario. One thing I will say is that he got us like with that national profile, right? Like he's made like the darling of the media in the sense. And I'm like, damn, bro, you ain't really won too much, but you made it such that people, you know what I'm saying? Like we're mentioned next to Georgia. We're in the top fucking 10. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, damn, you in the preseason top 10. So even if you feel like we're not supposed to be there, we are supposed to be there, we're not rated high enough, the profile is there. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, damn, this man done did everything but like, we didn't even go to the playoffs, but got us situated there. You know what I'm saying? NIL, stealing recruits, good incoming classes. So I'm like, look, bro, it ain't really nothing else for us to do but win the games we should. You know what I'm saying? And so as I think about this game, I know a lot. Right now, most Paul Feinberg says that is going to lose. A lot of people, the podcast got us to win. Everybody else got us to lose. And then I started to look at last year, and we were supposed to lose to Florida. So then I went to digging. We were supposed to lose to Texas A&M, and I'm like, damn, be winning their first games of the season. That might be their best put together out of the whole season. Their first game is their most complete game. I'm talking about the defense come out to play, the offense come out to play. I mean, they will have you thinking like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I remember what happened last year. We drunk that Kool-Aid. We're talking about, boy, we had a whole jug. We were talking shit. Oh, they did that. That was it. I was so, you was kind of like, well, I got to see more. I was ready to go all in. And boy, I remember I put money that next game and I came back to life. So I don't know. I really, but I also look at Notre Dame like y'all got a new quarterback, so they really on y'all heavy. But y'all ain't picked that man early on. He had to beat people out, and y'all traditionally, like Penn State, you don't really keep a thrower. You want to play good football. You don't want to turn the ball over. You want to run the. You want to make defense. And I keep hearing love, 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 and I'm like, is Diddy people? No, this ain't Diddy people. Oh, this they running back. Oh, you finna beat us running up. You finna beat us on the run game. Now, I'm the first to critique my team. You ain't finna be running off of UM like that. I can't think of the last running back. Like, it's short passes. I know but I don't remember too many running backs that were straight up running. You know what I'm saying? I remember Wake Forest running back had a good game, but he was catching stuff too. He was catching stuff and he was running. But I don't remember I do remember the last time we ran all over. Manny was there. We played North Carolina, and they ran all over our ass. I'm talking about, boy, them boys each had like 200 yards. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. But I'm just like, okay, so we know that you might not throw, and we know that you're gonna run. I don't like that game plan to beat us. And then I'm thinking like, okay, Carson Beck, he ain't no scrub. Yeah, we got new pass catchers, and we got some boys that can tote the rock. And I'm just looking like, bruh, we probably can throw. We got some receivers that need to step up, but we got new transfer receivers, and then we got Ray Joseph and the boys. And I know Ray want to play. You know what I'm saying? The defense, I mean, even the first game of the season last year with no defensive coordinator, we looked good. And I know Corey want to make an impression. Plus, they got a whole bunch of ODBs. So I'm like, I don't know. I look at different facets where it's like, well, even if you were just to throw on us, I don't feel like you're just finna just get bombed. And let's just say you do bomb though. I feel like our we have enough offense where we're gonna do something. But I feel like they want to make this a low scoring affair. I know what they want to do. They want to make it low scoring. They want to if anything they only want to be down by 7 at the half. UM wants to blow shit out the water. So I definitely, if I was a betting man, I feel like the first half of this game might be low scoring only because I don't know if we're going to be able to find our footing. I do like for us to be up by halftime, and I don't know, even if we win by a score of 28-7 or 28-14, I don't know, man. I'm kind of getting the feeling that UM is probably going to win this game, and we at the house. We at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're at the house. And the day before that in Hard Rock Stadium, FAMU plays Howard in the Orange Blossom. So they gonna have the field warm up for us with the orange and green, and they gonna win that game. So I don't know. I think this
Mm-hmm.
is just an orange and green weekend. So I don't know. So far, I've been mulling this game. I'm like, I think we probably gonna win.
I mean, I guess before I even get into if they're gonna win or not, I would just look at like what's our team gonna look like? What's our team identity gonna be? I think you're right with as much shit as I give Mario. Mario, because we look in depth into Mario, but from the outside looking in, Mario has done a great job according to everybody else. Right? Everybody else I hear that just like he's such a great recruiter. He has like strong relationships everywhere. So from the outside looking in, like publicly, he's done a great job. He's this great offensive line recruiter. So Miami is getting publicity based off of how people feel about Mario, which is they love him for whatever reason. When you start looking at his resume, it's not that great, but they love him. So they got their attention on Miami, honestly, the way we need to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether we deserve it or not, we got it. I mean, it's a lot of schools who don't deserve attention, who has it every year, but they're kind of more like blue bloods. They traditional. Miami isn't that. So Miami even being ranked in the top 10, even the top 25 right now is crazy. But we here. Um, Going into the game is like we lost a lot. You know what I'm saying? We lost a lot of safety valves. Cam was a safety valve last year. Restrepo was a safety valve last year. Um, we had people that would bail us out. Um, we don't have those bailouts. We gonna see what Carson Beck is gonna do. We seen what he did at Georgia with a bad receiving core. They weren't bad. They just dropped passes left and right.
The
But
most
he
drop
threw a lot of
passes in the
picks.
nation.
Most drop passes. So it's like, are our receivers gonna be better? Is JoJo Trader? Is he ready to step up and be a star?
Mhm.
Or are we looking at, what I'm saying, just a bunch of who's gonna step up? Is Nycar gonna step up? Is CJ Daniels gonna step up? Is Ray gonna step up? Is Chance Robinson gonna step up? Like who's gonna step up? Who's gonna be the person who's gonna step up and take the lead at receiver? We know quarterback. Um, I actually don't think Carson Beck is gonna make it through the whole year. I think he's gonna get injured somewhere down the line. We're gonna have to rely on our backups. But I'm just like, what is our team going to be? Mario wants to push, being a power football team, but then you got Shannon Dawson who wants to be air raid. So we got to figure out who we are. what's going to be our identity. And Notre Dame going to test you out the gate because they're going to come with defense. That's going to be their strong point, defense and running the ball. But like you said, we come out usually the first game of the season, and we usually have our most complete game. It's usually we can run the ball, we can throw, we play great defense, and everybody sucked into the hype. It's like we got to finish it. Um, I'm actually not worried about this first game, win or lose, for either team actually. Because if it's a game to lose, it's the first game of the season. It's the first game of the season. It don't kill you. It'll be up against a top 25 opponent, and depending on how the other team looks the rest of the year, it could be considered a good loss for either team. So honestly, I'm just like, what are we going? I just want to see what the identity of the team's going to be, the identity of the defense. Um, I think the only place where we're solid at is going to be offensive line, because we got some offensive line. We got some offensive linemen returning. Um, hopefully Markel Bell, um, Brockmeyer, Arnaz Cooper, Yoga, those guys, and then running back. Everywhere else is kind of like up in the air. Um, Defensive line should be good. We got Ruben Bain, Armando Blanc, King Messador, Lightfoot. Um, Secondary is looking so. It's just like, what is our team identity gonna be? Are we gonna be power football? We gonna be spread? We gonna fly to the ball? Or we gonna play zone? We gonna play press man or what? What are we doing? And I just kind of want to see. I'm not even looking at Carson Beck for game one. I just want to see how this team, what the identity of the team is going to be for the rest of the year. So if we come out and we get blown out, then that's gonna look bad. But if our team comes out and we lose, but you can tell that the running game looked good, the defense was sound, and we just got beat by a better team, I could take that. But usually Miami plays their best game of the year, the first game, like you said. So I don't know.
I'm piggying off of that. So I like what you said. So if we lose and we get blowed out, what does that mean? And what if we keep it close? What happens if, like last year, we come out, we look good in all 3 or 4 phases? How are you gonna feel after the
You
game?
gonna drink the Kool Aid? You gonna drink the Kool Aid like everybody else drink the Kool Aid? We was at the swamp selling out. We was
Oh my,
selling out at the swamp,
selling out
talking
bad.
big shit. Big dog. We talking so much shit at the swamp.
If you think about it, Miami got a target on their back. Speaking of that, so now they come to us with revenge, with
Hmm.
heralded, with a better quarterback, a better team. We talking about, the I forget what their coach name is, Napier. We
On the
talking.
hot seat already.
I'm talking about seats so high. He got one of the hottest seats in college football, and they got a better team this year, and they're more disciplined. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
think you know they're looking for revenge. Florida State want revenge. Florida State, if Florida State could beat Miami, oh, that's their whole season right there. Because when you're down and out and you're in Florida and you ain't no good that year, oh, you just want to beat your rival. That's
And they
that.
got a quarterback. They got a quarterback now. So
Yeah, they do. And I remember when that dude was raw as hell when they were on their championship run and they almost lost that year. You know what I'm saying? That's the year that they went to the championship and played Louisville. They played Boston College because he played for Boston College, and Buddy was I'm talking about was giving Florida State all type of
yeah,
fits. So
Castellanos.
yes, but Norvell is on a hot seat too. I think if Norvell has a bad year, I think they fire Norvell at the end of the year.
He got a quarterback though. So
You got a quarterback. So that's what I'm saying. Not just that, you know who their OC is, right?
who's their OC?
Gus Malzahn, who is just at UCF.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? So they let you get Gus, which I mean, if you listen to the media, they're like, they're like, some people are like, it's a good move. Other people are like, the game has caught up. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't work anymore. So I don't know. But I know that they've given him everything. And I know 2-10 wasn't embarrassing. So it's like, yeah, they got him on a pretty hot seat this year. USF is always a team that is going to give Miami little problems. They got the same quarterback. He got hurt last game. So, I mean, beyond this game, Miami really got you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the schedule is such that there are teams that can, you know what I'm saying, beat us.
I
Um,
said, so what we did last year is we scheduled predicted too much. We
yeah,
looked at the schedule and was like, oh, this is a one loss schedule at the most. At
yes.
the most, ACC championship game at the very least. We should be at the playoffs
And that
and
wasn't
a high
wrong
race.
either because like when you look at our losses, that's the head scratcher, right? Like the defense didn't show up at all after buying us the Kool-Aid. We're talking about we had one of the worst defenses in college football. And it took the rest of the podcast games to figure it out. Me and you was on their head. I'm talking about pissed off after the first game.
But we seen it. They actually, like I say, they had safety valves last year
Yep.
because they had a safety valve against Cal. They had a safety valve against Virginia Tech. There were two more losses they should have had on top of losing to Georgia Tech, on top of losing to Syracuse. They really was a four to five loss team last year.
That's crazy.
What they did lose to Iowa State in the bowl. So there's a 5 loss team last year.
Yep.
Um, so I'm like, are they better this year than they were last year?
It depends on how you look at better. Because one thing we can say is I'm gonna go ahead and say Carson Beck ain't no goddamn Cam Ward. All right, that's
But
just that's
he was the projected number one quarterback last year.
he was, but Cam was slept on. Cam, some of the stuff that Cam was doing, we didn't think he much like Shador, right? They say you're not going to be able to do that when you move up levels. And once you watch the tape of this guy, that's all he did was do it in places that they said he can't be. The difference too is that I don't know how many stars that Carson Beck had, but we know Cam Ward had 0 stars. So now you're dealing with a super underdog. So I do think that Carson Beck coming to Miami, getting broke up with his girlfriend, getting doubted, you know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder, and I think that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I think being doubted, and also going through adversity, um, is something. And I think a lot of times, he got $4 million, right? So that's the record for what we paid
Uh,
quarterbacks. Cam didn't even get that. But I still feel like he's got something to prove. I don't think this is gonna make him comfortable. He does look scared in the face, right? Every time you see pictures of Carson,
Every time you see
Carson
him,
looking
man,
scared. You know.
like he's spooked.
But when he played at Georgia and he was on point, watching him come back in that Alabama game, that did
Hmm.
show me something. I was like, this guy can, and even Kirby, he can play through adversity. So I'm really going. And what people say about you when you're at your lowest and when you're in the heat of the battle, Kirby Smart was surprised and didn't want him to leave. Kirby Smart, if he would have stayed, they were not gonna unseat him for the quarterback they have now. I think Kirby was good. I know, as a fact, obviously I don't have any evidence, but I know Kirby believed in him, and a lot of those struggles were because of the receivers. And
Oh, I
there's
mean, you can't lead the nation in drops. You can't.
nah, I watched several games, and those guys, I was like, damn, dog. If you don't drop all those passes, this guy has better numbers. He still threw for over 3,000 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Nah, and
this is
it's, go ahead.
the only thing I would say about him, which he may benefit from the air raid offense.
Mm,
That may cater a little bit more to his style. He is a 3 step, 5 step drop quarterback, throw the ball. He's a slinger, so that may the air raid is get the ball out fast, get the ball in space. That may actually cater to his style. I think Cam is he improvs a whole lot, so like that Cam was able to. I feel like Cam can play anywhere because he can get off
yes.
schedule. He can play any style. I think this style is really going to benefit Carson Beck. We're going to see, and we're going to see if our receivers. I wanted to ask you this about JoJo Trader, because people talked about Jeremiah Smith so much,
Oh
and
yeah.
JoJo was supposed to be on the same level, and he didn't really get to see much playing time. Do you think JoJo Trader could be a star receiver like Jeremiah Smith? Because coming out of high school, they basically was damn near same level.
Yeah. See, you had me at, like you said, like Jeremiah Smith. So I think anybody that's from Miami, that went to high school in Miami, that from the neighborhoods in Miami, I think that you always gonna have it in you to be a star. Because I think that just the level of competition, you're gonna rise to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you are gonna be
Hmm.
there. But then when you mention Jeremiah Smith, we are literally talking about a man amongst boys. Like he was as advertised, number one player, number one receiver. He went and did those things his first year. So I think that JoJo Trader can be a top receiver. I think he can be an elite receiver, but I don't think he's going to be on the level of Jeremiah Smith. I don't even think he's as tall as Jeremiah Smith. I think
They
Jeremiah.
close. They close. He I think Jeremiah Smith may got him by like a couple inches. But I was gonna ask you this: if Jeremiah Smith came to Miami and JoJo Trader went to Ohio State, you think they would be in the same position they are in now?
So one thing about Jeremiah Smith is he was already so heralded. So you notice sometimes like certain players, when they're 5 stars and they're heralded, it's almost like the keys are there for them. It's on them to underperform, and they're still going to give them chances. I think, I ain't know how, I hate Ohio State. I'm a UM fan, so we can't. You feel me? It can't be no in between. That being stated, they had a better national profile than us. They are receiver U right now. You go to Ohio
Mm-hmm.
State. You have a certain
Mm-hmm.
number of catches. You feel me? We see Amika Abuka. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like, bro, they are receiver U. So that's why our receivers, they don't give a damn if they from Miami, California, or Ohio State. Want you? You going to Ohio State? You know what I'm saying? Because they just got another receiver, and that boy looked raw as hell. And I forgot where he was from. So I think if Jeremiah Smith would have came to UM, I think he would have had a dope profile. I don't think it would have been as big, but I don't think it would have been this big drop off. I think it would have only been slightly lower because we have a profile now. And I think that he would have brought more shine to UM. And I think we would have had to pay him. Oh, we would have paid him. We would have paid him
Yeah,
the
of
same
course.
thing. We would have paid him the same thing. And I think his profile only would have been slightly off because he would have been one of Cam's go-to receivers. So I think a lot of the things that he would have did, the only thing is we ain't had no defense, and they won a national championship last year. We was not gonna win no national championship. We was not even gonna get. If we would have snuck in the playoffs, we was gonna lose the first game because we couldn't stop nobody. But I do think he would have done much of the same thing. So the difference would have been a small margin. JoJo is gonna be great, but and I think he's going to have opportunities because they're looking for alpha, right? Our receiver that we got from LSU is supposed to be the top dog, right? But he got to prove it. You know what I'm saying? So Carson Beck is going to get the ball there, and it's all about who consistently. Same thing with Ray Joseph. I like Ray Joseph. I think that this man can be an explosive slot receiver. I think if he's consistent, he has more explosive speed than Restrepo. Restrepo, low-key, wasn't never that fast. Restrepo is one of those guys that when you turn on the tape, he gonna get separation. When you turn on the tape, he's catching the ball. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
Restrepo was just a football player. Like
Yeah.
he's not measurables. He's just on the field. He gonna produce.
And so
Um,
I think if Ray Joseph has elite speed out there, the boy is fast. Okay. I think if he turns into Mr. Consistent, we're talking about somebody who could take a 5 yard and go 10 or 15 with it. It's just going to be about his consistency and playing like a veteran.
I just want to see. I guess the next question: who you see on offense and defense? Like who you looking for this year? Who you looking to proceed? Be like I'm finna be the man this year.
Oh man. I think our running backs, I think our both of them, you know what I'm saying? And I say that because like you said, air raid. We gonna have certain drives where we're gonna run. We're gonna have certain drives to air raid. And I actually like that, right? Like you don't really know, like, okay, the air raid working, we'll stick with it. But Mario liked to run. And to be honest about it, if you want to throw, you gotta run. If you want to have explosive, you know what I'm saying, plays, you gotta run. You gotta be able to lull people to sleep. Therefore, I think our running back room is which we just gotta. We remember. I don't know if you remember, but we got that running back from I think North Dakota. He was
Hmm.
like an all freshman, and he's supposed to be raw too. But
Hmm.
Lyles, man, Lyles is the exciting guy that I want to see. I'm ready to see him. I ain't seen nobody who had that Mark Walton. No, what's that other? There was a UM running back that had that breakaway speed. He used to play
Who
for the
like
Dolphins.
maybe like Duke Johnson or somebody?
No, I like Duke, but Duke didn't. This was the Lamar Miller.
We've had other running backs. Remember Lorenzo Lingard? He was supposed to be.
He wasn't never that good though. He wasn't never that good, and he went to Florida. He wasn't that good. Lamar Miller. Let that man.
Yeah.
Lamar Miller had the breakaway speed. Lamar, you remember it was him and it was a 2 running back set we had. We had a dependable running back, but we get Lamar. I'm talking about Lamar, and Lamar was doing that in the league. Lamar was getting 1,000 yards.
No, Lamar was a dog.
Lamar
Lamar
had the
was a
breakaway
dog.
speed. Lamar
Lamar is a
ball too.
Lamar should be in your top five of you went back to the top
I'm
six,
telling you,
7.
yo, Lyles has the Lamar Miller breakaway speed. He's a guy that if he gets the ball and at the right point, oh, bro, it's to the house. Turn the trick on. It's to the house. So, but I do think our other running back, what's his name?
Mark Fletcher.
Mark Fletcher is our big back. I think he's strong. I think he can move the pile. And I think this is his year. I know his dad died last year. So I like our running back room and I like the depth they've got there. Our tight end room is going to have to be the sleeper room too. I know they're big on Lofton, but they got somebody else behind them. So I think, Shannon likes the tight ends. I like the tight ends. I think those are the key. On defense, I mean, let's just start, bro. Obviously, we want Ruben Bain to have a breakout year. There's a couple of other guys that we recruited, Armando Blount. You feel me? You need your line to cause havoc, but let's be real here. What's up with the DBs, bro? Is the safeties in the DB room gonna be key to everything? Because if we can limit explosive plays, and what I don't mean that you just keep everything in front of us, but you still throwing for 20 every time. No, bruh, I need some hands out there, some failed drives out there. I think that is going to be the key. And I can't tell you who's going to step up. We know that we only retain one guy from the secondary. So that's a good move by the staff. And that's our All-American freshman. What's his name?
And Frederic, OJ Frederic.
Frederic. Frederic.
Frederic
He me a French
Frederic.
New Jersey, but that man made me so proud last year. I think we stayed singing him praises because you could see the game. I'm like, oh yeah, you ain't throwing on him. Then he had that one game where I think he had like a tall receiver and he didn't do good that game. But I'm like, yo, he played like a seasoned vet. But I feel like out of everybody I named, our secondary is a big unknown, and that's going to be the key right there. If we can get let's just say we necessarily like our offensive last year was the number one offense in the country, most explosive. I don't need to have the number one offense. I want an explosive offense, but I want a good defense. I just need a well-rounded. And obviously, I can, I don't like this, have a broken record, but I don't got no faith in my coaching decisions, right? Like I think that Mario gonna be who Mario is, and I think the rest of the media even accepts that. So even when they're big on Mario, they're just like, don't make any questionable decisions and trust your assistants to make the right calls because you don't really know what you're doing. If we get out, we're gonna get. When you look at our schedule, right? Do we play Louisville this year?
Hold on, let me pull up the schedule real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I think we
We don't
do.
play
Hold
Georgia
on,
Tech.
hold
Yeah, we do. I think we do play Louisville. So Louisville is a team where it's like, bro, we can get out coach that game. And I think those
yeah,
are the
we do play
games where
Louisville.
that's
Yep.
what I thought. We don't play Georgia Tech though. So it's just like, look, when you play teams like Louisville, those are the games that I'm worried about because we can be out coached. We're out coached every year because we know that Mario is not the type of guy that can make in-game adjustments. He's not the type of guy that can game plan. And let's be real here. He's sitting in those meetings. He's got the same generic message that when they ask him what they've got to do, he's not going to be Kirby Smart. And so I think that's always going to be our weakest point. The players will improve, team unity, players will step up and down, but I know that we don't got no coach. He gonna recruit, we're gonna get the profile. But when it comes to the actual in-game adjustments, you're looking at Shannon Dawson. And I don't know anything about our defensive coordinator. So I think that's the biggest wild card for me. I expect Shannon, once shit gets bad, I expect Shannon. With Cam Ward, you didn't see it because Cam Ward was calling his own numbers. He was like Peyton Manning out there. And Emory has been named the backup. So, like you
Mhm.
said, so if shit hits the fan, I like Emory. I think Emory's a better passer than what he was. I think Emory probably has improved, but he's only going to be as good as his offensive coordinator. And I think that Shannon, when in certain games, he doesn't really, what I'm saying, he just seems like he doesn't know how to necessarily adjust on the fly. He can take a half and adjust, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? People talk shit about
Um,
Mike Bobo at Georgia, but Mike Bobo, we watched that second half of that game against Alabama, and I was like, God damn it, boy, that's a hell of an adjustment.
I think for me, I'm looking for a JoJo Trader to like solidify himself. I think he's seeing everything that's happening with Jeremiah Smith. That's his player partner, and seeing like all the accolades and the money. He's finna be a number one pick and all of that stuff. Um, and he stayed at the crib. I think
Yeah.
it's just his time. I think it's his time. I think he has to solidify his spot. He has to be what I'm expecting that. Remember Ahmad Richards
Yeah,
when Ahmad Richards had that like breakout year. He just got injured, but he was just killing.
man,
I,
love Amon
he
Richards, man.
he kind of reminds me of him. Um, I'm trying to see if he could have potentially one of those type of breakout years, something that was unexpected. He's like, the potential is there, the talent is there, but you got to produce.
That's true.
Um, and really, like Amar Richards was like, I'm the man. Like, it's this me. And whenever he got a chance, he proved it. And we didn't really know Amar Richards
Richards
like
was from
that.
Broward too, and I think JoJo Trader, all them boys, they technically not from Miami. They technically, which side's all
Yeah,
South Florida, but that
yeah.
Broward coalition, them boys in Broward, Ely, you feel me, Ely, and you know what I'm saying, Piper and all them high schools, low key dog, like they've been producing a lot. You know what I'm saying, of just stars, American Heritage, bruh. Those
Hmm.
Broward schools, those receivers. I ain't saying that they better than the Miami receivers. I think we've been known more for our DLs and certain other things, but I'm like, bro, them Broward boys. So I'm
Yeah,
with you. I think JoJo gonna
I'm
have a
looking.
year.
I want him to have a breakout year, and kind of everybody else is like we're gonna see what y'all gonna do, because I just need somebody as the receiver room to break out.
We got a lot of receivers though. Somebody
We
gonna
got a
step.
lot of receivers.
Got a lot of
We've got
receivers.
a lot of receivers. We got a lot of receivers. Somebody got to take over.
Somebody going, bro, and the
And,
best man
and
gonna play.
and then on defense, like you said, like I'm okay with like the front seven. We need to see what that back end gonna look like. We know what OJ Frederick gonna do, but if
Yep.
Damari Brown or Markeith Williams is on the field, it's gonna be a problem. So we got to see like who is going to be the other cornerback
That
and what
boy,
our
that,
safety's
that
gonna
boy
do.
still stayed. Damari Brown, he was there last year, right?
His boy was trash.
That's what I'm saying. So he ain't transfer.
Nah, he's still there.
Oh shit. Okay.
He's still there. Um, yeah, we got to see what our safety's gonna do. Um, that's gonna be, what I'm saying, like our biggest weak point. That's where it was last year. The boys was getting torched. They was getting picked on last year. Um,
Do you think it
so
was really the coaching, or do you think it was a lack of talent? Why that was really that bad last
I actually don't ever think it's a lack of talent.
year? Okay.
I always think it's just a lack of like preparation. Like them boys don't know what to do out there. Now the difference is some players are just so good. They just gonna be good. Period. They don't need the coaching. They're just good. Somebody like Travis Hunter. You don't have to scheme him. He gonna be what he gonna be regardless. You could
Mm.
play him whatever. He could play zone. He could play press. He could play press man. He could drop off in a whatever wherever you put him at. He's gonna be good. I think a lot of them are like that. Some of them need the scheme for their talent to come through, for their athleticism. If they don't know the scheme and they don't know where they're supposed to be on the field, then it looked like how it looked last year. It looked bad. It looked real bad.
Do
So
you
I think
so
the coaching has a lot to do with it. But I do think like you gotta have like OJ Frederick. He was being coached badly, but that boy was balling. Like at some point in
because
time, like you gotta take it on yourself to be like, nah, I ain't going for it.
we play a lot of zone, right? And that's just been the stick. When Florida State is raw, Florida State plays a lot of man to man. Do
Yeah,
you
they're like, if
think
you
that
go
we
if
got
you're
that
gonna
type
beat us, just beat us. Like shit. If you're gonna do it, do it.
of
And yo, man, you know why Florida State plays, man? Because they rely on their defensive line to get pressure, which they usually have a good defensive line.
they do. They do.
So if their defensive line gets pressure, your cornerbacks ain't got to cover for 7, 8, 9 seconds.
That's real. That's real. And supposedly we got a line. I,
Yeah, we
I
should.
like
We
our
should.
O line, but I've been going back and looking at the tape. I think our O line is a little overhyped. I watched Cam. There were certain times where he would hold the ball long, but then there were certain times where he was just so quick with the ball. But a lot of people was getting pressure. We don't have that type of quarterback this year, right? So that
We
line,
don't.
we gonna really see. Like, I know they love that line, but I think the line. So the line is about how high these guys were coming out afterwards, right? You got a lot of podcasts that'll do the amount of hurries or whatnot, but when you're just actually watching the game, when you're just watching the actual game, and you're looking at the fact, like, you know what, our quarterback is so good that we're not necessarily seeing the full extent. I just think that line is going to be tested this year. They big now. Listen, they're big. They got the
Hmm.
immeasurables. They're tall and they're battle tested. But to me, when you're saying elite, I got to see that. And it's important because an elite O line is going to be able to make holes for those running backs. So if they ain't making the holes, then that means our running backs are not getting what they need. That means there's not going to be a lot of time to pass. So I guess one thing that we've always said is our secondary and our trench warfare on both sides of the ball is really going to decide how well everybody else
Hmm.
does. So and you
Plus,
know
we,
what? He has recruited for that. He has recruited. If you're gonna say,
well,
and he
we know Carson Beck can't hold the ball like Cam did. He's gonna have to get the ball out.
And
Um,
you know what? To be fair about it, he was getting the ball out at Georgia. He was not known for holding that ball too long. He was getting it out too quick because his receivers was hitting it on their finger. Do you know how many interceptions that he's credited for that those were the receivers'
yeah,
fault?
yeah, yeah.
You
But
know,
he did throw some, but a lot of them were,
yes.
off their hands or
And he was the
catchable
majority of
balls.
the blame. I can tell when Georgia didn't do good, he would get more blame than what he should. And when they won, he wasn't getting the accolades. Like, he definitely, I feel like,
He's just not a sexy quarterback at all. Like when you see him, he don't got no swag. He don't turn up on the field. He real
nah,
boring looking. The boy looks sleep all the time. Like he not one of them. He not Joe Burrow on the field. He
no
not one of
cool.
them guys. Yeah, he not Joe Cool. He not even like a Baker type. Like
Nah,
Baker is just hype.
Baker had that
Baker
spunk.
talk
Yeah,
shit.
talk shit.
Yeah,
Step on your logo at the middle of the shit before the end game. Like, okay,
yeah. I think he a good quarterback.
I
He
think
just don't have no. He don't got no fire under him. But you know, we actually don't even really need that. We really just need him to be like almost kind of like Cam. Cam was calm. Cam turned up a little bit, but not a whole lot. Cam did have swag though.
talk shit, but Cam had the swag, and Cam won't start the shit, but he gonna finish the shit. So if you talking, I
Hmm.
used to catch him mouthing off back and forth, but he never let it get in his head. He says a little something, then he going out there, and then he finna hit you with that real quick right
Hmm.
afterwards too, and you want to shut up at that point because you're like, all right, now the boy gonna go off, and if the boy go off, I wouldn't want to piss Cam off in college. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Now I'm like holding the ball. I'm gonna start rolling out the pocket. You don't know if I'm gonna run. I'm gonna bomb you. You see that little corner where your DB don't? I can get the ball over there too. And I'm like, bro, that's a guy.
Hmm.
That was a blessing.
Hmm.
But I still want his jerseys, man. That what I'm saying. I don't care where he went to school. All I know is he went to UM. You know what I'm talking about? So,
Yeah.
but this is Carson Beck's time, man. Honestly, I think Carson Beck gonna do good. Now I'm not strong on that, but I just feel like he's gonna do good. I feel like he ain't really got no choice. I think everything he wants, from the money to less pressure being in the SEC to having new receivers to having new opportunities, I think he's gonna go out there and ball out.
Well, we gonna see. We
We
gonna
gonna
see. We gonna see in a few days. But man, everybody gonna be happy to see your face, hear you talking again. You
back.
know, but we back. We back. We gonna be back tapped in. Um, we looking better. Looking forward to a better season this year. Hopefully, we're gonna hope. As long as we don't have no, this first game is gonna determine a lot, but can't get too high, can't get too low on that. We'll
Exactly.
see, we'll see. And even like you say, Notre Dame, they got a new quarterback, so we could go out there and have 6 or 7 sacks and be fool's gold because they playing with a new quarterback.
For real, for
So
real. Nah, you hit it
we'll
on
see,
the head, man. We'll see.
we'll see. But I said as we started the show off, we back. We gonna be back in your face. Every week at least once. Twice, 3, 4 times a week. Hitting you with this coverage. Um, we're gonna have the picks for you. We're gonna have all that for you. So go ahead and tap in with us. Tell your friends to tell your friends to tell your big booty auntie now. Shit, we back. And till next time, shit, it's your player partners from the bottom of the map.
From the bottom of the map,
We gone.
we gone.